some mammy. Let's just keep it a buck.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but you heard that what's Pops from Family Matters? Urkel
Oh,
Dad.
Carl Winslow.
You heard about Carl Winslow, didn't you?
What about him?
Did he slept with Carl Winslow? You didn't hear that?
Oh, come on, bro. I ain't listen. These rumors crazy. These rumors crazy.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah,
Diddy had a taste in women, obviously. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Diddy liked him a dime piece around. I'm not gonna take that away from the man. All
mhm,
right. Now, what he like to do with the freak off thing, that's different, right? But we want to make it seem like Diddy was just like he was just smashing anything that moved. TDJ, Oprah Winfrey, you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying we don't got Diddy to the level of a monster, bro. Like he didn't even care what he was smashing.
that's true. And you know what's?
So
Oh, go ahead, keep cooking. My fault.
no. So I was just finna say that you know what I mean. We have to really just come back to reality with the Diddy thing. Most people walking Earth wouldn't even, you know what I mean. Women on Earth wouldn't even let TDJ smash. Most men probably wouldn't even smash Oprah if it went for her money. So nobody said they was at a freak off,
Yeah,
but don't sit here and say, well, I stopped at somebody's house for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, bro. I
yeah,
number one, I ain't stopping at nobody's house to say no happy birthday to a grown ass man. You'll get a text. But you might not, I ain't stopping to make no effort. And if I do make the effort to stop at your house, it ain't finna be for no 30 minutes.
at a mansion. You can't stop at Diddy's for 30.
Probably take you 30 minutes to get to security.
Yeah, you know,
And to walk through the whole house. You're gonna walk through the house, you're gonna have the shelves. Stop lying. But like I said, everybody want to distance themselves from Diddy, which I don't blame you
mhm.
because of the stuff that you hear. And we can only imagine what some of these people went to. They want to act like, oh, you know what? I'll just be praying. That's it.
Yeah, it's this is just a distraction from what we really need to be focused on.
That's what I was finna ask. What we need to be focused on.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Come to think about it too, Carl Winslow, TD Jakes, Oprah, all of them people can't be Diddy's type because he had the J Lo's, he had his baby mama, he had
Kim Porter, Cassie,
all them baddies, and he wasn't even smashing them. He didn't give a damn so bad. He was letting other people do
Young Miami. Ain't
it. So
nobody finna go to Young Miami to Oprah.
yeah, you
Nigga,
know what?
dick don't work like that. They would be confused, like, whoa, what are we doing?
When I come to think about it, before I used to get ridiculed on my channel and stuff in the comment section, not as if I give a shit about what people saying though, but the people like the Gene Deals, and I forgot girl name that be talking all the time that called in the Star Show the one time. She used to be a singer,
Jaguar.
Jaguar, right? Good God. All of those people going on the Art of Dialogue and Vlad TV and independent platforms just saying stuff. Loose Cannon, that's the guy that just got locked up with Big U and all them boys out there in
Mhm.
Cali. Cali, he was the one saying that he was in the room when Diddy was clapping Carl Winslow cheek. Why was you in the room, nigga? So at the end of the day, it's just a whole bunch of I felt like people was lying, and then some people was telling me that I believe everything happened. Diddy a monster. You believe it, but you don't have no proof of it. And people be speaking about things, salacious activities, and speaking negative on people's name, and don't have an ounce of proof or nothing. Real
What I done learned by doing this Diddy stuff, bro, a lot of people be projecting, bro.
talk.
A lot of people hear this salacious stuff and it's stuff that they would do. So
Hmm.
they automatically think, oh, Diddy gotta be doing it. Why you think Diddy gotta be doing some crazy stuff? Okay, if you had some money, that's what you would do. So that's what it be. It be a lot of projection, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get off the Diddy topics, fam, and go on to something else. Um, when you woke up this morning, or did you know before you went to sleep that Donald Trump had took out 3 nuclear sites in Iran. When did you know that had happened?
Yeah, I knew before I went to sleep.
I didn't know until I woke up the next morning at 4 a.m.
Yeah, salute to Trump. You know what I mean? Hey, I put my vote in. I trust the man to do the job. If you got to send the nuclear strikes, handle business, and I just trust him to do the job. It like I tell people all the time. Trump just feel like when you a little boy running through the house and daddy's home. You don't worry about nothing. You just know everything is being taken care of. You don't even got to think about politics. You know what I mean? The manly thing is being done. The right thing is being done for the country, putting the country first. And that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he felt like he would need the airstrike, it's not for me with my 12th grade education to be talking about. No, let them handle business. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to here, that's what we trying to vent. People coming on our soil and wanting to fight. We trying to live the good life, stream on YouTube, do our thing.
Frank Wine acting like rich niggas just chilling.
So Trump handle his business.
That strike let me know how professional the Air Force was by them sending 125 planes from Missouri to Iran. A couple of them planes was just gas planes to keep the other ones gassed up. They hit all 3 of their targets effortlessly, killed minimal people. And Trump gave a warning. A lot of people don't understand that in that political space or whatever, he said, I want 60 days of peace and negotiation between you and Israel. It wasn't peace and negotiation for 60 days. So then he said last week, I'm going to give y'all 2 weeks before I start sending the troops over there. They kept the war going. They kept beefing and sending bombs and stuff over there to Israel. 2 days later, he sent the hot damn goon squad in, and they handled business with less casualties. And he's letting the world know that the United States, to me, what I see is that he took out the nuclear plant. He didn't harm nothing else. To me, he don't want the war to escalate beyond what it's already is. You know what I'm saying? Let's calm this down. I don't really want this war to happen, but I don't want y'all to have nuclear power so y'all can nuke Israel or whatever and make it escalate into a nuclear war. So he shut that down before that happened. And to be honest with you, I commend that. I ain't hating on it. I commend it, fam.
Salute to Trump and handle the business. People stay out of it. You got a whole bunch of stay out of it. Just do your thing. And if it comes to your front door, then you handle business. Right now, you don't know the right decisions to make. And the thing about it to me, I wish we wouldn't just get involved in none of this junk. If Israel and Iran want to destroy each other, I just wish America would stay out of it. But I don't know the geopolitics like that. You know what I mean? Of how that works. So
I ain't that political neither. But at the end of the day, one thing I do know is that I don't want more war to hinder the finances in America. And I don't want to be Israel's like caretaker all the time.
Me neither. I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I never see Israel come to the hood and give a nigga nothing.
They take. Do they got some information on the United States or something to make us where we want to be their allies all the time and shit?
I'm like, if y'all God chosen people, God give. Y'all shouldn't always be asking for somebody to do for y'all.
Yeah.
Like you have it on lock. It should be y'all and God, and y'all should shut stuff down. You God chosen people.
Yeah. Now
but why you need the United States? The United States is a abomination country. We ain't got nothing to do with God.
Now I'm about to play something that's gonna it might not shock you or nothing, but it's just a misconception of the rhetoric that's being spewed in the black community. A lot of people don't like Trump and they don't like what he's saying and they'll go against what he's saying. But then another president that they do like can say the same thing and they'll agree with it.
So the work that we've done with respect to sanctions now offers Iran a choice. They can take the diplomatic route and end their nuclear program, or they will have to face a united world and a United States president, me, who said we're not going to take any options off the table. So,
end your nuclear program, or we're going to have some sort of military access with the united front against you. They kept the military program going, and Obama didn't do nothing about it. Now Trump saying the same exact thing, and we can end it right here, and you can speak your piece to close it out. But Trump saying the same exact thing, and people saying he wrong for what he did, or they scared about what he did. People also saying that he initiating World War III, when I don't think other people are going to be allies with Iran, especially how tactical they just came with them 125 planes like that. It's just interesting, fam.
Listen, black people don't know much about politics. You know, black people vote for freebies. So this type of stuff, you know, black people, when you want to get into the facts of things, they don't really have it. And you know, I learned not to fault them for that, because I understand where they're coming from. Like I said, they just want freebies, handouts, and that's what, you know, their political party market to them. So you know, a lot of this stuff, they don't understand what Obama was doing. They don't understand the damage Obama done. They just understand that they got Obamacare. They had an Obama phone. You know what I mean?
They had an Obama phone, fam. Yeah, Obama assistance. That's all that they really wanted, and people really wanted. That's
And
crazy.
to feel good. And to feel good. You know, we got a black guy here. Look at this black woman. Look at these black family. Oh, I feel good. So when you start talking about what Obama did compared to Trump, they don't want to talk about that, because guess what? Their political party telling them, no, know what? Trump is racism. And then you say, what did Trump do racist?
And they can't.
No.
They won't have no statistics or nothing
That's
for
why I
it.
say it's a waste of time.
That's true.
I've
Even
been doing this, bro. I've been going through this for the last 8 years, bro. That's why you see I don't really talk about that much Trump stuff on my channel, because when
yeah,
it comes to just talking about that with black people, it's a waste of time. Black people, you have a good sector of black people, is even when you prove them that they're wrong, they're still going to continue to roll with what they know is wrong, just be for the sake of they don't want to support Trump. They don't care if they're wrong about it. They know they're wrong about it. So it's not really
but
no point of arguing. People already know that, you know, they know they're wrong. So
yeah,
that's why I don't
that's
even
all.
do the Trump thing.
You know, we just talked about Jim Jones and fashion and stuff, right? And clothes, and I remember on the last episode we was talking about the glittery belts and the rhinestones and all of that. And I don't know what is the root of black people being infatuated with fashion and clothing and jewelry and stuff? Does that come from Africa or something like that? Because I was looking at this clip that I'm gonna play of Allen Iverson, where they was talking about how he changed the game and the culture with the clothing and the drip in the NBA, because they used to be wearing suits before he came into the league. If they was on the bench, they had on bow ties or regular ties and whole three-piece suits. And then he came with the Reeboks and the Nikes and the Adidas and the baseball cap with the jersey and the baggy jeans and stuff. But it seems like fashion is something that we put on a pedestal as something to value, fam. And the Jim Jones thing, when he said he's more influential than Nas, you know, I don't know what his influence is, to be honest with you, besides inspiring people to wear Ed Hardy and the belts and shit, though. But I want to know the root. I want to understand the root. I don't know it. I don't know if you know it, but I don't know the root cause of why niggas just. Oh, I do. I got an assumption. Heard my assumption. We need things to feel valuable. Could that have something to do with it?
Well, I think it's a lot of different factors. Um, you know, contrary to unpopular belief, white people like to dress too. White people ain't as flashy. White people not gonna let you know, oh, this is Chanel. We the ones that gotta let people know what we got on. Because it's not for other white people, because other white people they don't find value until, okay, you got some clothes on. That ain't gonna get reaction out of another white person from another white person. But if you tell a nigga, yo, I got on some Burberry, you know what I mean? A good sector of black people, you're gonna get a reaction.
Yeah.
Whether it be hating or, oh man, you the man, you clean, you know what I mean? So I think it's multi-layered, you know what I mean? It's a attention factor to it, it's a value factor to it. You know, some people it's just a personality factor to it. Some people just generally like to dress nice, and it's not has nothing to do with nobody else. Some people have money, and you got to spend the money, or you gonna continue to tax the hell out you. So people like you, I might well buy me $1,000 suit, or buy me a, you know what I mean, $1,000 pair of sneakers. You know what I mean, or something like that.
And it's a
because they're gonna take the money anyway. And some people feel like, yo, I can use this as leverage, because guess what? I already know you got a sector of black people, like I said, they're gonna be like, yo, this nigga is the thing, and he got on some fucking jeans.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a nigga like, I don't care about no damn jeans, bro. I'm looking at you like an idiot if you spend that much money on some jeans.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? I be feeling good putting on some $10. If I get a new pair of $10 jeans, I feel good putting on some clean, fresh out the washing machine. I was like, damn, I got all clean clothes on.
Man, when I'm chilling, Doug, most of the time I got on joggers and a t-shirt.
Me too.
I really get fresh to get on the podcast.
Me too. And I done stopped doing that, because I'm finna cop me a whole bunch of black tees, and that's all people gonna see me in.
Yeah.
Especially as I push out more and more content, because like I'm not finna be like this shirt be hanging up. And it's a little wrinkled, but I don't even really like wearing little polo shirts like this no more.
Yeah.
I just like to just dress regular, because look at people like what's the guy who on Facebook? Zuckerberg.
It's
And
a
they wear
little,
the same shirt every day.
yeah.
It ain't important.
Comfort. It doesn't have no value being cuter than the next man. It's just weird that people put so much emphasis on that. But let's see what Allen Iverson had to say. I just wanted to present that conversation, to play this clip so we can further the discussion. And then we got one more topic, man, and we can get up off of this thing, though, man. I highly appreciate your time. Oh, now we might got two more topics. We got two more. Let's do it.
Well, man, how does it feel to be the person who changed the game from, I want to say, suits to streetwear, man? You changed my life.
I always felt like where I grew up, where I'm from, I felt like wearing a suit, I always wore it to a funeral, I always wore it to church, and that was cool, you know what I mean? But I couldn't afford it to even wear it to church, so I was embarrassed all the time because I couldn't afford to wear a suit to church. But at the same time, like, I ain't never went to the gym wearing a suit, so why would I wear a suit to a game to play basketball? You know what I mean? I feel like it's not what's on the outerwear, you know what I mean? It's that heart, man. It's who you are outside of the clothes, man. The clothes don't make nobody, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's how I always been. That's why I was always against the. That's why I was always against the dress code and all that. I know I had a lot to do with it. I know I got to change, but look at me. I took the ass whooping for it, and now all these years later, look at all these guys out here. These guys got cornrows and tattoos and dress the way they want to dress. It's a fashion show going in the game, and all that was, from Allen Iverson taking the ass whooping for it, and I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? I got a better feeling for it being, a positive way for me than a negative way for me. And I think the young dudes respect me and they love me for that.
Thank you so much.
You think that what he did to transform the culture was better for the culture or worse for the NBA culture by them allowing people to just dress in these outlandish outfits now?
You know, hip hop had, I mean, NBA had got so entwined with hip hop. I feel like it was going to be a natural change as hip hop just became so dominant in American society. Because these young kids, eventually, somebody was going to do what, you know what I mean? The tattoos and all that, the tattoos on the face, it was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Was it better? You know, I'm one of them people like, yo, let's stick to doing things the classy way. I just think the classy way is better for me personally. It sets a better example. It keeps things more prestigious in the long run. You know what I mean? But like you say, you know, black people are dominating the NBA and just in black culture in general. We just don't want the class thing no more. You know what I mean? Far as the majority of us, you know, we think that's too much of a hassle. Let's let people do what they want to do. That's the consensus of the black community. So, you know what I mean? Anything that's going to be dominated by black people, that's the consensus. It's going to just be let people do what they want to do, leave people alone, da 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 da. You know the saying. So it don't matter. That's the so
He let us do what we want to do. But to me, when I look at those, because before the game, then they always show them running through the tunnel. They get dressed up just so they can get the picture taken of them walking through the tunnel. And you see Russell Westbrook with the hot dang on bra on, or and the bell bottoms or the blouse, and they wearing blouses to the game and all sorts of shit, fam. But it's just like you were saying though, the classic look and the simplified look is always gonna be there. It's gonna that's something that's gonna last forever. This loud clothing and stuff that they doing now, it is a little weird. Allen Iverson did implement that in the game. Salute to him being able to do that so people can have some sort of freedom, but I don't know if it was better or worse for the game. I just posed the question because I wanted to know your thoughts on that. And you know what I'm saying, what Allen Iverson had to say about his transition in the game. But to me, I didn't mind the suits, fam. It's just I think that, you know, comfort is important. Ever since COVID hit, right? Everybody's attire has changed. You know, me living in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's a lot of professionals here. It's like a banking city or whatever. I remember women used to wear suits with ties and stuff, and people used to get on the dollar bus and they be fully dressed with suitcases and everything going downtown. Black professionals, white professionals, all professionals. Now, ever since COVID, everybody got on jogging pants and slides, fam.
yeah, people be working for home, and you know,
Yeah, the
I
world
don't
is
know how people let a couple a year and a couple months change their whole direction.
permanently too. Yeah, yeah. Well, I got one more topic, Doug, to discuss, and it's a relationship topic. Me and you have never had a relationship topic since we've been doing these collabs, fam. And I normally don't talk about relationship topics, but this artist is from Tennessee, and he manifested this woman, Angela Simmons. He said it in the Get Down in the DM. Remember that song? When they got together, right? I know that that's something that he wanted and manifested in the song, but they from two totally different worlds. He from Memphis, Tennessee, Ridgecrest Projects, one of the dirtiest cities, the blackest city in the country. And she is from the suburbs of New York, father to a pastor that used to be a rapper. And when I seen all of that stuff going on with Young Dolph and Yo Gotti, and then his brother getting smoked. Yo got Big Jook. You remember all of that stuff? I was thinking, like, how is this relationship is gonna, you know what I mean, continue on, knowing that he is in these streets and she don't come from that environment, and the things that he got to deal with and the stresses he got to deal with. And I want you to hear what she got to say before you give your take.
It lately. Are you guys together still or no?
No,
No.
I'm not with him.
No.
Yeah, not by choice, but I respect him. It's all love. Like,
it's not your choice.
I wouldn't have chose it, but it was what was best. But I wouldn't have chose it. No.
What are you saying to me right now, Angela Simmons?
I'm saying that I'm a lover. I love love. I love relationships.
This man proclaimed that he wanted to get with Angela Simmons. This man pursued you. He proclaimed it in front of everybody that he wants Angela Simmons. So you're not telling me that he ended. Did he end the relationship or did?
No, it was my choice. I had to make a decision, but I think there's a certain level of what I can share and would share publicly. You know what I mean? And I can publicly say that I'm not with him anymore.
Was that confusing, fam?
It was confusing, but it was confusing on purpose. See, people want to throw a whole bunch of stuff out there and muddy the waters on purpose, bro. The point blank is the narrative reigns true. Angela Simmons is another one of these single mother unbearable women. As far as relationship goes, you know what I mean? Salute to Yo Gotti. He could have dropped her like a bad habit years ago. But he tried to see it through, tried to see if she was going to make some adjustments. And she didn't make the adjustments. Plenty of people have tried Angela Simmons out in a relationship, and there's nothing there. I can tell by her IG account, she's still like a ton of attention. She's not ready to fall into that role of her being in a relationship to be a helpmeet to a man. So I don't know. It just seems like Angela Simmons is the problem at this point. And young Yo Gotti could be the problem too at this point. Which I know often we don't look at men as being a problem. He could be the problem too. He could be one of those guys that just don't want to be in a serious relationship and take it to that level. Fine. That's fine too. Yeah. But it's something about Angela Simmons keep picking these dudes that don't want to take it to the next level with her.
They ain't trying to marry her or commit to her permanently. To me, when I thought about it, she said it wasn't her choice initially. Then she said it was her choice to break up at the end when Angie Martinez asked her, did he break it up? Since it wasn't your choice, did he break it up? Then she said, no, it was my choice. So that's what really confused me. It wasn't, then it was, then I'm at the end of the day, I felt like it wasn't her choice. It was the father choice. Get away from them niggas in Memphis before you end up in a casket like his brother and like the other people that's surrounding him, and come on home, baby. Just come home. And
I think that would have been happened. She was with some gangster out of Atlanta, some trap nigga out of Atlanta that she had a baby with. So she liked that lifestyle. You know what I mean? She probably get a rush from that. That's probably how she get her rocks off. So, these women ain't gonna listen to their dad. I just feel like what it was. It just, I feel like Yo Gotti got it, and so he held on to it for long as he did because he really wanted it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he tried to make it work, couldn't make it work, wasn't really nothing he could do with her, and had to let her go. You know what I mean? With the dad stuff, I don't know. Russell Simmons, them gangsters out of New York too.
He was a gangster too. Them Run DMC niggas, they wasn't no pastors and no sweet dudes like that. Yeah. They was in the street also. Cause think about how Jam Master Jay died. You know what I'm saying? The 50 Cent homeboy, he got killed or whatever in Queensbridge. But in closing to the show, Doug, who gonna win the fight? Charleston White or one of the Island boys?
Kodiak Red, he the one fighting. That's a good Charleston White. You don't mess with these older black men, that old black shrimp. These niggas get some shrimp from the ancestors. That shit be from slavery. Nigga been done put a ton of cotton on your back. You be like, damn. Yeah, you don't mess with them older black men. That nigga Charleston White, number one, he got a disability, so his certain senses and reflexes is heightened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Super.
so you know what I mean?
He got one
So,
eye.
and then you got this dude, he's skinny. He ain't never really been through nothing. And in Charleston, regardless of what, he been battle tested. You know what I mean? You know, when we grow up in the streets like we is, a fight ain't nothing. One eye, two eye. When it's time to get down, it's just time to get down. You know what I mean?
Fingers, it don't matter.
It ain't no talking, no junk online. It ain't covering up your face with tattoos to pretend like you tough. It's time to get down in a real way, though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Nah, no. I'm just like, no. Charleston White is just built different, bro.
Okay. So you know, we're gonna react to that next week when we do a show, fam.
Okay.
And we're gonna go back in time. You said Charleston White, and I agree with you. I hope we don't lose this. And White Buddy knock Charleston White out and close his other eye. But that'll be damn good content for us to converse about if he do knock his other eye off.
Now, Charleston White been talking about Buddy's son. So Buddy may come in that bitch with that, like, yo, you never know. When people get to talking about your kids and stuff, you come in there with a different energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if he got his mind right, he should be able to knock Charleston White. I would, the way Charleston White been talking to my baby mom and about my son.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My mind will be so ready. I'm knocking you out. I'm coming at you.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he moving. I know how I'll be moving. I don't think he cut like that, but I don't think so. But we'll see.
Yeah. Hey man, I appreciate your time always, Doug. Thanks.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Let's get to it. What you got to say in closing, family? We up at this thing.
Oh no, just holler at your boy J Baby Play Crazy. J Doug TV, holler at me over there, and that's it, man. Holler back.
Let's get it. Chip.
Yo.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.